we're going to go to an interview with a public information officer with the Sacramento Police Department to give us their perspective on where they are at in that investigation. His name is Zach. Zach, are you with us?
I am.
Zach Eaton with Sac PD. Thank you so much for taking time out of this very tragic and busy morning to give us an overview of what you know. So again, a very complex and complicated scene. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so it is a very complex scene. We're going to have a lot of downtown shut down throughout the day. Unfortunately, when these horrible instances occur, it impacts the community in such ways that, we really can't imagine. But one of those ways is us having to shut down a large portion of the area. So those areas are on our Twitter, @Sac Police. You can find those areas where those streets have been shut down. And we expect those streets to be shut down throughout the day and possibly into tomorrow.
Zach, violence is not uncommon to our city, but something like this is. In all of my years here in Sacramento, I don't recall a time where 16 people were shot and 6 people ended up dead in the downtown area. Do you have any statistics behind that? Do you recall of any other incidents?
In my 12 years at Sac PD, I do not recall an incident like this. Obviously, any instance where somebody loses a life to gun violence, it's a very tragic situation. And we're very concerned. And our investigations teams are going to be out, like I said, on scene and hoping to conduct a thorough investigation to make sure that whoever perpetrated this crime is brought to justice.
And Zach, I know that the police chief, Kathy Lester, has made reducing gun violence one of her top priorities. She said that to me a few weeks ago. She's been on the job for a few months now. I know you've been speaking with her this morning. Can you reiterate her stance on just gun violence and reducing it, and how she plans to do that? And of course, this morning is just an awful, awful scene, but just give us her perspective on gun violence in Sacramento.
Yeah, I don't think the chief has kept it any secret that we've had rising gun crime and violent crime in Sacramento. And I know she's been working on a plan to address gun violence and has been working on a plan even before she was chief to address gun violence. Obviously, like I said, anytime somebody gets killed in our community, it's a real issue, especially to gun violence and any type of violence. So it's a priority for the Sacramento Police Department. We plan to address it, and we plan to do whatever we can to make sure that our crime stats come down, because it's alarming to everybody. We want our community to be a safe place for everybody to enjoy.
And Zach, where do you go from here in the investigation? Such a widespread area, so many people involved. You guys are still trying to determine if this was multiple shooters. Where do you go from here?
Yeah, so like I said, our homicide detectives as well as other supporting unit detectives are going to be out for over the next day, 2 days, to conduct a very thorough investigation and to make sure that we document everything correctly. And what I would say to the community as well is, there was a lot of people on scene when this happened, and there might be a lot of video, there might be witnesses out there. We really encourage those people to please contact the police department. We need their help in solving a crime like this, and I think the families deserve the cooperation from the community to help, again, bring those people who committed this crime to justice. And I would just really, again, encourage them, if there's any video that they might have seen on social media, we're going to be providing the media with a link to where they'll be able to share that information with us. So we can take a look at that. So that's what I would say to the community.
Well, thank you, Zach, for that. And can you tell us about some of the victims? I know that you're reaching out to family members for those that have died from this, and you're also trying to find family members of those people that are in hospitals. Obviously, we don't know who these people are as of right now, but how is that process going? Our hearts go out to all those individuals involved in this.
Yeah, obviously that's part of the continuing investigation that our homicide detectives will be working through. We partner with the Sacramento County Coroner's Office to make those notifications. So any notifications of that nature would come from the Coroner's Office, but again, the police department works hand in hand with that entity to make sure those families are kept up to date on what's going on.
And as this is happening, a lot of families that are maybe watching this and haven't heard from their loved ones, they instantly, you know, the reaction is you want to go to the scene. What are you asking those families to do at this moment, and anyone who may just want to go to the scene right now?
Yeah, we're asking people to avoid the area if at all possible. We're working on a plan to hopefully redirect those citizens to the city hall as part of a meeting point. So if anybody has any questions, again, about family members, obviously they're welcome to call into our dispatch line. But we would like them to, again, respond to City Hall to hopefully we can have a meeting point and we can be able to share information. So we'll have officers on scene at City Hall for that.
Zach, have you been able to see some of the video that has been shared on social media? I know we saw at least one video that was very disturbing of young people going at it, you know, people falling to the ground, somebody putting their hands on somebody's neck, and then the gunfire.
I have seen a social media video. Our investigators are aware of that video. Obviously, it's very tragic and hard to fathom something like that occurring in our community. Again, like I said, we're very concerned about, obviously, this violence that's going on in our community. And we will do everything that is in our power to bring whoever committed this crime to justice.
What is the message to young people as they're seeing this video, they're seeing this play out in their city, where we all know that something like this could be sparked by, you know, you looked at me the wrong way, you said the wrong thing to me, you bumped into me. What is the message here now that we see that this could happen?
Yeah, I think, you know, we're asking the community for calm. We're asking people to take the high road. If somebody says something to you that might upset you, you know, don't respond. Obviously, these situations are very tense. We see in the past where, you know, somebody gets in an argument or in a fight and it escalates to a shooting like this. So, you know, we're asking the community for calm. If there's a problem, please call the police department. 911 obviously is the emergency line. 916-808-5471 is our non-emergency dispatch. We have a lot of law enforcement resources to help respond to such problems. There's been outside agencies that have been awesome in responding to this situation and assisting us in the area, and they will continue to do that, and we just appreciate their help in us trying to calm a tragic situation.
Zach, we're seeing online reports of victims' family members saying that they had family members at the bar London. Can you tell us about which restaurants and or bars could have been involved in this? Can you say that at this point?
Yeah, at this point, we can't comment on that, unfortunately, just because we don't have those details. What I do know is that the shooting, the main portion of the shooting happened in the area of 10th and K.
Okay.
I unfortunately just don't have those specific details. But as we move forward and we learn more facts about this investigation, we will definitely provide those details.
Can you say anything about what type of gun was used?
I can't at this point. Again, that's still too early to determine. Our homicide investigators will definitely be working through that to determine those facts.
And Zach, what are the rules when it comes to carrying a gun? If you're going to a nightclub, can you put one in your pocket? I mean, what are the rules to be able to have something like this legally?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different perspectives and different laws as it pertains to carrying a gun concealed in public. Really, the only one of the only legal ways that you can do that is to actually have a concealed carry permit to carry a loaded firearm in public. So for most citizens, they are not allowed to bring loaded firearms into say a nightclub scene, but there are those exceptions for people who have permits. But then again, varying businesses may have rules where they don't allow firearms into their business establishments. So again, it's a case-by-case basis on something like that.
And is the public in any danger, the greater public at large in this area? What's your message to whether or not the shooter or shooters could still be out there? I mean, do people need to be extra vigilant, extra careful right now, or what's your determination on that?
Yeah, we have a lot of law enforcement presence in the area right now. We don't have a suspect in custody at this point. But we're working to obviously identify those people. But we have a lot of law enforcement resources downtown right now, and we will continue to have a lot of law enforcement presence downtown. So if anybody feels like they are unsafe or there's something that's just not right, or if they see something, please please give us a call, and we would love to respond out and take care of that.
Zach, thank you so much for taking the time this morning. I know you are very busy. I can imagine your phone is blowing up from all agencies from locally and outside of the area as well. So Zach Eaton, a public information officer for Sacramento Police, thank you again for giving us the law enforcement perspective. And of course, we'll be catching back up with you, I'm sure, in the coming hours and in the coming days. So we'll let you off the phone and we'll let you get back to your work. But thank you again.